Hey, okay, so originally I wasn't going to make a video on this, but I'm obviously doing it now. I have gone back and forth on this because what are we doing? How come it is, I did the video about gender blaming, and the thing is that I am still trying to figure out how it is that whenever there's like a small group of one gender that does something stupid, your immediate reaction is the entire gender is to blame. The entire gender is that way. The entire gender is like this small group. So if this small group has dyed hair and is heavily tatted and is just acting this way and talking about certain things, the entire gender is like that. Are you on drugs? Because I got to tell you something. I got an email from a friend about 3 days ago saying that there was this boycott against women authors. Do you know what it's like to be working? I have been busting my ass re-editing two actually, but one of them is for a short story book. So several different short stories. I've been researching for these stories and for the book, as well as for the pirate book, which is brand new, doing all of this research, doing all of this re-editing, only to find out that I'm being canceled because of somebody else's bullshittery. Do you know what that's like? Because dumbasses have decided that every woman is like this. I'm going to break this down. Okay, and I'm pissed. I am sick and tired of having to explain this to people who think that they know everything, that they're the smartest people in the room, and you're not. Okay, seeing and flooding the comment sections are people where they are saying, I'm not buying from a woman author. Okay. A Wrinkle in Time was written by a woman. The reason we have the werewolf character is because of a woman. You smart ass. Okay. So here's how it is. Okay. For some time now, there have been activists, both men and women, trying to take over different industries. Hollywood is up in flames right now because of it. The gaming industry as well. I have known for quite some time and have been fighting back along with other authors about the book industry being ripped apart by these activists. I even talked about it in a video where this Emily Wilson, so-called translated the Odyssey. Okay, she's in trouble right now because she so-called translated the Iliad. Okay, now when she translated the Odyssey, she was riding on this wave about how she was the first woman to translate in English. And so she got a lot of press and all of that stuff. Okay, with the Iliad, that didn't happen. Here's the problem. She left out big chunks of the story, such as the death of Hector, which you're a fucking moron for leaving such an important part of the story out. And she's learning the hard way. Okay, you should have left your activism at the door. Okay, so she's in scandal right now. All right. So it's people like that who have been going after the book industry. There have been people who have been reimagining stories. Okay, just recently there was this guy who decided to reimagine Huckleberry Finn and he got an award. Here's the thing about all these awards that these activists talk about. Okay, it's their friends high-fiving them. These, it's everything's made up and the points don't matter, basically. Okay, they have this long list of awards to make it look like they're important, but the awards are like when you're in your backyard when you were a little kid and you were having these pageants and award shows and that kind of thing. That's basically what it is. N These aren't official awards, okay? But they want you to believe that they are. They're not. Your best friend handing you an award from the dollar store is nothing. Okay. So, and it's funny to me that they decided to reimagine a banned book that they have been trying to erase for quite some time. Okay. Yeah, Huckleberry Finn, they've been trying to get rid of for a long time. These activists have been really going after that one. And then all of a sudden they decide to reimagine it. To me, reimagining is just lazy writing. This is this is a thing that I have to say about these activists, okay? Which, you know, it's common knowledge anyway. These are people who have no talent. So they take already established characters and whatevers and they butcher them. We've seen it, okay? Time and time again, we have seen it. Ask Mindy Kaling about butchering Scooby-Doo. That didn't work so well, did it? No. All right. They tried to go after anime, and Japan said, no, not today, not ever. All right. So they tried to go after Roald Dahl's stuff. They tried to go after Ian Fleming, all this. They had sensitive reader, trying to go after all this stuff. The list goes on. So they have been trying for quite some time to say that men don't belong in the book industry. Okay, they did the whole thing with Jules Verne does not hold the crown for the father of science fiction. Okay, they tried all that and it was shut down. Okay, people did the math on that because they were trying to give it to Mary Shelley. I talked about that. All right. So they have been pushing and pushing and pushing. Well, here's the fun part about it, kids. Okay, first off, go look at the panels. Okay, they hold conventions all the time. On those panels are both men and women. Okay, so if you're really going to pull this stunt of boycotting, you got to boycott male authors as well. That means you're just not going to read. Okay, looks like Pat the Bunny is what you got. All right. Actually, I don't know who wrote that one, but yeah, this is the thing about their conventions. I have heard so many horror stories about those conventions, about fist fights breaking out. They go after people who wrote those books. I mean, the people who bought those books go to these conventions to get like autographs from these people and everything. And these activist writers will attack their fans. I've heard stories about that. I have heard stories about their idiotic, out of control behavior causing the staff of wherever it is they are to tell them to leave. So the convention is shut down. It's just endless, terrible behavior. They have fought each other for one reason or another. It's like, why would I go? To see? And they never take accountability. It's always someone else's fault for the reason for that happening. And but yeah, on the panels of these, and I have seen several different from several different states, it's men and women. It's not just women. The attitude that it's just women that are causing this problem is childish and immature at its finest. Okay. The fact that you seriously cannot fit the pieces together on this and have just decided that women, am I right? Well, you know what? I'm just going to boycott women now because this is a woman's behavior. Men are behind it too. Men are doing this. Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay. The second thing is that there are shills. Now, as much as I hate the word, sorry, but there are shills that will jump on any bandwagon to get 15 minutes of fame. Okay. And they will defend to high heaven everything. It doesn't matter. We saw it with the Acolyte. There were people who were defending Leslie Headland to no end. Suddenly, she's gone. Where are they? Don't know. They're on to the next thing to shill for. Okay. So, I mean, Dylan Mulvaney exists. As much as we don't want him to, he does. Okay. He found a way to get famous, and that's what he's doing. And what's funny is that now there are knockoff Dylan Mulvaneys because they think that that will help them get famous. All right. So I'm really not understanding how you're stupid to this. This is actually something that has been going on longer than the internet has ever been. People latch on to things and other people thinking that they're going to get something out of it. It's been going on for decades. Okay. The fact that you're stupid to that is pathetic, honestly. The pixie dusters, yeah, I know several pixie dusters that they think that they're getting something out of Disney, and really that's not what's happening right now. Um, the other thing is that you've heard of pen names, right? Th this is a book community. People use pen names. This goes as far back as ever since the first book was written. There were women that were using men names because there was a time period where it was forbidden for women to release books. The Bronte sisters were using men names so they could release books. So I have no doubt that there are men who are releasing books under a woman's name. Okay, good job, Sundance. You're a fucking idiot. Those three things, the fact that you won't pay attention to the panel, because like in Seattle alone, there are several, and they're more interested in telling you about their sexuality than the actual book. Yeah, because these people they won't talk about their writing career or anything. They talk more about their sexuality. It's like I really don't care. So obviously you're a shitty writer if you won't tell me about your writing career. I don't care about your sexuality. I really, I really don't. But yeah, when they have those panels and everything, there are men and women. Okay. Like and in Chicago as well and all over. It's not just women. So how in the living fucking hell is it that your first attitude, your first decision is to boycott women? You know, when I was venting to this friend of mine who told me about this boycott against women, and especially after I saw the flood of comments that was saying, well, I don't buy anything that's by a woman author anymore. Um, this friend of mine said that he's getting really fucking tired of the gender war right now. And he said, by this logic, whenever there's like three women who do something stupid, and that means that the entire gender is that stupid and will pull this shit off. He said, by that logic, that means that because Dahmer was a pedophile killer, as was John Wayne Gacy, that means all men are. You opened the door for that. Because I swear to God, every time there's this scandal of like one or two women doing something stupid, you immediately say, and you flood comments saying, "Women, am I right?" You just think that you're really doing something. You get on your soapbox and you talk about how stupid women are. I have been fighting this. I'm trying to get myself and other authors are trying to make science fiction and fantasy what it used to be before Twilight fucked it up. Okay? Remember Tolkien? Remember C.S. Lewis? Remember how science fiction fantasy was about going on an adventure to mythical worlds and seeing mythical beasts? Yeah, that's what this fucking story is that I have been working on. And yet I'm being canceled. And I didn't do anything. In fact, I have been fighting back. I exposed Emily Wilson and her bullshit for going after Homer and the Odyssey, not translating it correctly. And now look where she's at. Okay. I saw a comment earlier that said that, well, yeah, men read because their newest thing is saying that men don't read. No, men don't want your bullshit. Okay. Men don't want to read about your personal sexual fantasy in the most fan fiction-esque, nonsensical way, badly written and all that crap. No, they want to read quality stuff. Louis L'Amour's son called them out. Good. More people need to. Instead of sitting there and boycotting nonsense and saying, well, all women are like this, men know what they want to read and they sit back and they read it. We don't sit in. I seriously saw a comment talking about how women are in book clubs. That ended in the 80s, you asshole. I haven't heard of a, I don't know anybody that does a book club. What are you talking about? You are taking stereotypical things and you put every woman in that, and it's really getting old and it's getting tiresome, and you need to stop. Okay. Yeah. These women, they're, this group of women, their stuff is not selling and they're mad. And so they're lashing out. That's the same thing that Leslie Headland did when her show was not getting the ratings. In fact, nobody was watching it. Okay. Do you see a pattern here? Maybe you should start. Oh my gosh. For those of you that sit on your ass and watch these videos over and over and over again, you're not connecting the dots. And it's really annoying. Okay, but don't come after us. Go after the activists. Okay? I didn't do anything. I've been busting my ass trying to write a book. Three, actually. And one of them is a short story, and I'm trying to re-edit everything, except for the pirate story. I was very angry when I found out that there is a boycott against women authors. But the fact of the matter is that there are men and women activists who are going after the book industry. The fact that you are too stupid to figure that out is beyond me. That you immediately decided to just say, hey, it's only women that's doing this. Book clubs ended in the 80s. Nobody is doing that. Okay. Nobody was doing that in the 90s. All right. Where did you get that? Okay. But there are those of us that are fighting back against, and that's why they're getting exposed, and that's why their stuff isn't selling, and that's why they're lashing out and saying bullshit like, well, men don't read. No, they do. but they're reading what they want. Okay. Anyway, I'm closing up here.